What we doing here? You know the slogan. Make sure you subscribe. Salute to my audience. Salute to the prayers. I know you're just here to get the gossip and then go do Chinese whispers. The least you can do, hit the subscribe button. Notification bell on. Website this month. Hats of merch this month. Trying to forward, man. Let's level up a little. Now today, this is a segment that's needed. Because when you have people within the same environment as you, i.e. content creators, throwing out all sorts of narratives, all sorts of propaganda on your name. Sometimes it's like, let me not reply, because you know the person's looking for some kind of attention. That's not the case here. That's not the case here. The case here is someone's rattled, and now what they're looking to do is damage limitation. So it's what can I say about somebody, i.e. myself. And it's crazy to think that. But imagine if I didn't say anything or if I didn't forward to talk about the situation. All sorts of opinions start floating around. And people's entitled to their opinions, that's fine. But you see when certain things are mentioned, it's like, when it's distasteful, always guard your reputation with your life. Do you know what I'm saying? So Elaine the Pain, welcome to the channel. I hope you had a good day. Hope the family's good. All sorts of respect. However, let me give some context to my audience. Elaine the Pain is somebody I came across due to her loud voice. She's very opinionated, and that's fine. That's cool. She's standing for what she believes in. Salute. No problem. However, me and Simon and Dangles, we're having our little situation. She was invited onto their show. And you know what they're like. They're always going to try and entice you into the conversation that they're in, especially when they're insulting myself. And that's cool, I get it. It's banter, you know. So Elaine was brought into the conversation. But however, you know, like, what happened to being grown to the point where, you know, if it's none of your business, you just stay out of things. Do you know what I mean? You just don't say nothing. If it doesn't involve you, you just stay quiet. Do you know what I mean? If two people are painting a narrative on somebody and you feel like you're being drawn into that discussion, you just say it's got nothing to do with me, innit? That's what grown folks do, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But she jumped in with the banter, and that's cool. You know, when they was talking on me being Asian, and remember, she's boycotting the Asian community. That's her objective. She jumped in with the banter. Yeah, we're boycotting Clue. Yeah, Sanjay and all of the things. All sorts of distasteful comments. Now me, I'm laughing because I'm not Asian. However, I have a lot of Asian friends. So I'm sitting there and I'm saying, this woman got herself excited. Look at this now. All right, cool. You know? So I went and done what I done. I mentioned Dangles and Simon. And I made it clear, always look at the results. When people are championing change, resets, evolving, boycotting, in Elaine's case, what's the results telling us? And I just made it clear that you can't be talking about doing all sorts of boycotting when you're not even doing all sorts of things yourself. How can we take you serious? That's all I said. Am I wrong to say that? Let's say I am wrong to say that. Let's say I'm wrong to say that. Cool, I'm wrong to say that. Cool. But what was the next step? All sorts of disrespect from this opinionated woman. All sorts of abuse. Verbal, obviously. You know? And like I said, I'm here for the banter. I'm here for whatever it is in this content space. I don't take myself too serious, but it's like when certain words start getting forwarded to my name, that's when it's like, whoa, what are you doing here? So Elaine then went on to spaz out, as she does. And she was alluding to me graping females. And you thought I wasn't going to talk on that. Of course I'm going to talk on that. Because here's what you got to do for us, Elaine, yeah? See propaganda, narratives, false ones especially. You have to stand on that and show us receipts. Show us proof. Otherwise, what it looks like is you're just chatting off your gums. But you said I'm the chatty patty. But I don't make up no propaganda though, or no one's name. So could you show us the proof of this grape that I've been doing? Please, show us. ASAP. Otherwise, if you're not talking factual, then what are you doing? Running your gums. That's all it seems like to me. So that's a distasteful comment. And then you went on to talk about all sorts of other things, you know. It's on your Insta page. People can go check you out. I'm sure they do. You got a great following, by the way. You know. But what you have to understand, about me is I'm here for it. I'm not here to go back and forth with you, though. You're a female. I respect females. A lot of people would say, you know, you're not holding yourself to that standard. It's a woman. It's a female. Let's treat them with respect. And that's true. So this will be the last time I do this for you. But you just need to know yourself a little bit, you know? Because while you're over there doing all sorts of things that I don't stand for and I don't respect, i.e., you're attacking the Asian community. You want to boycott the Asian community in order for black people to buy from black owners. And I salute that. I don't salute the boycotting of Asian people, because here's what. If we flip the roles around, and all of a sudden, Asian people started coming out talking about we're going to boycott the black people and rare tear tear, it'd be uproar, bro. It'd be a madness out there. A load of people would have things to say. Do you get it? So I don't agree with your antics. I don't. Do you get what I'm saying? And me, I'm someone that looks Asian, according to you. So you're getting on to me because I look Asian. You think that I'm begging to be known as a black man. Bro, I was raised with my white mother, respectfully. My black father was never in my life like that. So why would I want to follow his path as a black man, if you want to state that? I don't have one racist bone in my body. How would that make sense? A mixed race kid that's racist. Imagine that. But you're there in front of your audience trying to paint all sorts of narratives to make me look like the bad guy. Clue was talking about he don't like black women. Really? Shame on you. Yeah, Clue's always getting on to women. He's got no chat for men. Okay, your opinion. But shame on you. See, you had to paint false narratives on me because nothing factual you know of me. You know? So now let's talk about you now. Because one thing you also said was, you know, you're against the Asian community. You said, Clue wants to be like dark skin, and you used the N-word. But correct me if I'm wrong, don't black people dislike the N-word being used? But you're supposed to be the champion for black power. What we doing here? So when you were saying all this rants and raving you was doing, I'm there saying, she definitely got a man that's looking like Wesley Snipes in the yard. You know what I mean? She's strong on this black thing. All sorts of midnight in her yard. But then lo and behold, ain't this your man? All sorts of dowsim you're laying down with. Hands and feet for you. From him. Yeah? Because you know about dowsim, you know about hands and feet. It's over, buddy. Your fella. Yeah? Looks Asian to me, miss. What we doing here? So that's your done. And respect to your dog. Cause he didn't want to get himself entangled in this nonsense, which it is, I must say. But you like propaganda. So here's some for you. You're laying down with Dow Sim. Huh? All sorts of Asian brothers you're laying down with. Crazy. But then you want to boycott the Asians, and now we know why. You know, heartache and them thing there can be crazy. Can lead us all to do strange things. And, you know, as you're so honorable, as you speak so gracefully, I saw your OnlyFans. What we doing here? So now I'm confused. Am I talking to Elaine from OnlyFans? Am I talking to Stubble Elaine? Stubble Elaine because you know you got the goat eating going on. You know, it's crazy. Or am I talking to the Democrat Elaine, the pain? Or the twerking one? I'm confused. Because here you go again. So let me get this straight. You're out here on Black Power, but then you're over there doing all sorts of naked things for film. You're over there with all sorts of Dow Sims, getting hands and feet. Freaky thing you're on. Kinky. It's crazy. It's over, buddy. And you had the cheek and the audacity to disrespect me. It's crazy. Now remember, you know, you're there running off your mouth like Dow Sim can't get hands and feet. Remember that. When you're outside doing all sorts of relationships, holding all sorts of hands down the high street, don't think, say, Dow Sim won't get hands and feet. You have to be mindful. You're a lady. I'm not going to touch you. He can get hands and feet. You know? Yeah? It's over, buddy. You're contradicting your whole thing. You're painting false narratives on my name. Can't show us no facts about rape. You think, say, if me and you walk down the same street, darling, and was to try and secure 5 dates, who's getting 5 dates first? When all you're doing is you're out here flashing off your 2 best friends. All sorts of filters you're on. Looking like a penguin. You ain't even got no shape. Your thing just goes down and that's it. With your size 10 feet. Huh? Looking like the bottom of an elephant's foot. How dare you? Distasteful. I can't believe it. And you're there talking on my name. Because I look Asian to you. You think so you can run me. How? You're acting like you live in Brixton. You live in Essex. Bad man. You're talking black power, black power. When was the last time you went back to yard? Bad man. All right then. Yeah? Because you're over there married to the Asian don. Remember that. And you want to boycott the Asian dons. Remember that. So again, I'm all about the facts. I've shown you the facts, right? You show me my facts now. Grape. Bring forward one woman, one candidate to say anything bad on my name about grape. You think, say, man's desperate. You're offending so much talent by saying that. And we've seen your talent. See, you was worried about me getting onto your family. I'm not going to do that. I got a daughter too. I'm getting onto you directly. Didn't you say my nose, I needed a nose job? Well, hold on. Ain't that your man? It's crazy. All sorts of propaganda. Clout off you for what? What are you known for? What is it you do? What, you're TikTok famous? You run your mouth? Show us results. How's the boycott thing going, by the way? Listen, man. It's the landing, man. Salute to my audience, man. You know the vibes. I'm only dealing with the facts. These people dealing with nothing but fiction. I don't hate on no black people. Crazy for you to suggest that. Great per female. You can get hands and feet for that. Dao Sim can get hands and feet for your actions. Remember that. Yeah? Considering you're so bad. Yo, man. It's the landing, man. Make sure you subscribe. You never know what we might talk about.
Call me Saint Nick. Caesar with me too. Going ape shit. Gorillas in the zoo. We had to break shit.